Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. I'm going to talk to you today about this Celebrity Roundup. And this week's Celebrity Roundup, I'll be talking about Wendy Williams being checked into a rehab facility. I also will be talking about the backlash that Hallie Bailey is receiving because of the Little Mermaid trailer that was released there last week. I also will be talking about the update website of She by Sheree and how it's still having problems. I also will be talking about the Sherry Shepherd and the Sherry Shepherd and Jennifer Hudson premiere shows this week. I also will be talking about Marlo making a deal with Netflix. I just found that out yesterday. And also, I'll be talking about this drama that Nicki Minaj has going on with Gracell Bouvet's Lonnie Love and suing some content creators. Those are all of the topics that I'm going to talk about today. Like I said, Marvel had their DC 3 show last week, and they released the trailer to the Little Mermaid. And Halle Berry sung that song so pretty, and they showed her under the water, and she was doing everything so pretty and stuff. And then it was so much backlash behind it, and stuff like that. So I thought it was a kind of die down. And then when somebody posted that it was 1 million dislikes and stuff because they talking about the Little Mermaid. Like a lot of people are saying, the Little Mermaid is just a fictional character. Anybody can play a fictional character in a thing, but it's a lot of these so-called conservative white folks or white folks that just don't want to see a black Ariel and stuff like that. And it's not all of them, but it's just some of them. And like one person said, this is just a cartoon character. And when I clicked on her thing on Twitter, it was a nice white lady. She was saying, it's just a character. It could be, Ariel could be for anybody. How do they think we feel when they jump off and when they jump off and steal our stuff and put white rappers in rap and make them get popular, and then they got some struggling rappers that are black that have been struggling for years, but they can't get the popularity of a Jack Harlow or somebody else that is just copying and pasting our stuff. But then when we are put into roles that are typically made for little white girls or made for white people, here comes this big old uproar. And I'm so glad that Halle Bailey clapped back, because somebody got it mixed up and thought it was Halle Berry, and talking about Halle Berry was too old to be playing the Little Mermaid. She's 60 something, and she put a picture up of Halle Bailey and as Ariel, and she said I will be going watching the Little Mermaid. And she put a picture. She said I'll be at theaters, and so she was saying, she was letting them people know, even though it wasn't her, you got her mixed up with the wrong one. She said that too. She let you know that she's gonna be supporting Halle Bailey, and she did a good job from the little clip that I saw. I don't know why all this such backlash and stuff, but it's just plumb ridiculous and stuff like that. On another note, like I said, it was all over the blogs. It started this weekend. It was all over the blogs, all this week. But like I said, it started this weekend, and I was kind of going through the thing, and then I saw what Nicki Minaj was talking about. You need to what she said, something about she was saying something to Gracell about you online, hollering about people bullying your kids. You didn't say that about my kid. You didn't say that about my kid. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. And so because Gracell's son was bullied online because of that stuff that happened on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I was watching it back and forth, but then it got so toxic I stopped watching it. And then after that, And then after that, she said, yeah. So somebody said, yeah, you, and the son said, somebody said something about, yeah. And she said, well, I can't fight her by myself. She's too big. And I was like, who she talking about? Then you couldn't find out she was talking about Lonnie Love. And the reason why she was talking about Lonnie Love and Grace Hill, because I think it was last year when Lonnie Love and Grace Hill and them had that Jennifer Hoof on their show, telling her side of the story of what happened between her and Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, and so that's when it started off. But then I was watching a YouTuber that I watched named Sherelle's World, and she had Nosey Ho on there, and Nosey Ho, which is her real name, I think say real name is Marley Green or something like that. And so she was saying that Nicki Minaj sent her a cease and desist and suing her. And then next thing I know, a lot of people were saying, well, sometimes you gotta watch what you say. And they were saying, well, Nosey, I saw some of the clips, and you did say that. Now I do agree with some of those Barb fans about Nosey Ho should have said nothing about Nicki Minaj's child, talking about a child eyes was cross-eyed. You don't talk about people's children. I mean, if you might have some kind of negative attitude about somebody's children, just keep it to yourself. You're not supposed to say that out loud and stuff. And she was saying, a lot of people saying it's hard to prove defamation. She might not have defamation, but see, people. She said she got her tweets. Nicki said she got her tweets, so they're going back and forth. But then I watched another YouTuber said that she was going after that other content creator name. Her name used to be So Harrier, but she just changed her name to Kimberly Foster earlier this year. And she was saying, yeah, she said she only wrote something about Nicki Minaj said this about Grace Hill Beauvais and other people and stuff. She's a horrible person. Nicki Minaj and the Barbs came after her, and she said she came from. I watched a little bit of her channel. And she said she came from her nephew's graduation or some kind of thing they had at the school, and she got and her phone was blowing up, and she saw when she had all those messages talking about Nicki Minaj pursuing her and stuff, and it's just been a thing because she had been getting into it, giving subliminal messages on her Queen Radio about certain rappers, especially Lotto, because Lotto was saying back in the day, back in the 2010s, the only female rapper that was popping was Nicki Minaj. But she said now you got a plethora of the girls. That was not a dig or a shade at Nicki. I think Nicki Minaj is just so sensitive and mad kind of mad because her star is kind of dwindling. It's not shining like it was. And I guess anybody that says anything that she thinks is negative toward her, she's gonna say something. This is just a big mess. I hope everything works out for Nosey and Kim and stuff like that. But it looks like we're gonna have to start watching what we say. Everybody was saying that after Cardi B won her against Tasha K. And on that note, Tasha K was on Twitter over the weekend and stuff, and then she talking about, oh, y'all talking about me, and then Cardi B said, no, we're not talking about you, but you better bring my check, you better run my check. Next thing you know, I see it on Twitter. That Tasha K talking about she moving to some part of Africa or Ghana and stuff like that. And I say, Tasha K, you shouldn't be trying to move out of town so you can't pay that woman. You should have not said what you said about that woman because that was defamation. You can say stuff about people, but you can't talk about their children or their health or their family. Those three topics to me are off limits and stuff like that. So but what it is, she's still gonna, whether she go to Guana or wherever she goes, she's still gonna have to pay Cardi B. Like I said, I saw it on Twitter last night where Marlo got her a deal with the Netflix for her little archives show. Like she said, what she rent out all of her old clothes, to different studios for people to wear, because she was saying sometimes the studios don't have time to go and buy everything. So she just bought everything for Archie. So I'm so glad of that for Marlo, because Marlo was kind of getting a bad rap on the Housewives. I'll do a separate video about the Housewives. So I'm just so glad about that. And on other Housewives news, Sheree Whitfield had a big old fail, with her first lunch of She by Sheree, after the season finale. And so she said it was a error. She said it was an error problem with the server and stuff like that. And then she was on for a little while last week, and then by the time Friday came, her thing was back down. But then this past Tuesday, she said it was back up, and people were going to buy it, and people were still complaining about the prices and the stuff of what she's charging, and stuff. And then I think it was either Wednesday of this week, another girl on Facebook said that same leopard jogging that she got on sale for, I think it's 132 or 142. She said she found that on Walmart. It was the same thing. And then other people started going to Walmart to see it. Next thing you know, when I tried to go see it, and a few more other people, they said Walmart had took it down. I don't know if it's out of stock or restock or whatever. But a lot of people are saying we shouldn't be giving Sheree this flack. But Sheree presented herself as a designer. Now, if she would have said, I got She by Sheree website, you can go, we would have been happy to buy. But like I said, I'm not paying no $35 or $45 for no t-shirt when I can get a t-shirt for $15 to $25. Even Candy was selling her t-shirts reasonable when she put out I'm Worldwide B. So it's a lot of these people are trying to sell their names. Your name is all right, but your name is not a Gucci or a Prada. I'm sorry. I don't buy that, but I'm sorry. When your name get that high, maybe people will buy your stuff. This is A. Wesley. That ain't you tested like a TI. Yes, I am out.